Hiya friends, Crystal Joy Johnson of CJoy Yoga. I think most all you all know me by now. So I'm gonna break down a cue that I use in classes sometimes, and we're gonna really work with it this week in classes. However, even if you're not taking yogurt classes this week, it's a useful tool for pretty much every human being out there that I know of. I'm sure there are exceptions, there always are. Right? But I'm going to show you the position I see every day, whether I'm walking around, of course we're in times of COVID, but right, if you're walking around in a coffee shop, airports, you know, when you see people working in school, at their home, etc. There are two positions I see all the time that we're holding for extended periods of time, which can be pretty hard on the body. One is there's a screen directly in front of us, artwork, a book or something, and we end up in this position. Chin pretty parallel to the ground, but you can see what's happening in my neck and my upper back. Or we move that screen down to our laptop or our book we're holding down or that phone you're grabbing onto right now. And there you go. You've got a 13-pound bowling ball that now the body has to work really hard to hold up because your bones are not stacking on top of each other. So the cue that I absolutely love for this is move the hyoid bone back. Hyoid bone? What's a hyoid bone? Yeah, I know. I didn't know about the hyoid bone either until I started doing yogurt. It's a U-shaped bone that is in the top of the neck at about the same level as the mandible and your C, your cervical 3 spine, right? So if you bring your hand, and a great way to find it, one of its main jobs is to help the tongue move around and to help us swallow. So if you bring that hand in, U-shape, right? Don't hurt yourself, just nice and gently make contact right underneath your mandible and then swallow a couple of times. And you'll probably feel the movement, just that light movement of that hyoid bone underneath your hand, right? If you're too gentle, you won't feel it, but you don't want to obviously compress anything, right? Just moving in just enough to find it. So now you can leave your hand there and let your body go into the position it loves to go, whatever your position is, right? This is about accurately, and no exaggeration, what I tend to do. And so if I, using my hand or just thinking about it, but I really like manually adjusting myself, right? If I move my hyoid bone back, you can see what it does in my body, but I want you to feel what it does in yours, right? So go into your regular position, even if it's just not quite as far as mine, whatever that is, and go ahead and move your hyoid bone back with your awareness in your upper back, your neck, right? And for that matter, the spine all the way below. It affects everything. Your shoulders, right? And you might do that a couple of times and just play with that sensation, that feeling. And then once you've moved it back, you can release the hand. Notice that your chin is fairly parallel to the ground, right? Hopefully we're moving into our cervical curve, which in an ideal world is 30 degrees, even though we're losing that as a society because we're holding that 13-pound bowling ball forward so much. We're starting to lose our neck curve as a species, right? So can you have your bones stacked? Can that head just lay in that cradle that's made for it? Try that again. And so you find yourself throughout the day, anytime you think about it, when you're in that position, even if you're not, you might just start saying, move your hyoid bone back, and maybe do it. That's, you know, helps too. And just play with what that does for you. May you be well. May all beings everywhere be well. Namaste.